Chauvinism. Chauvinism is a deeply rooted mindset of an unwavering belief in the inherent superiority of one's own group or nation and divine calling of a particular and patriotic cause, group, or ideology. The concept derives from the French soldier Nicolas Chauvin's blind faith and patriotism that went far beyond normal levels, since he became fanatically devoted to Napoleon and France. Chauvin's name turned into the cultural archetype of the jingoistic, militaristic, nationalist denotation of those afflicted by these narrow-minded ideologies, who cling steadfastly to the notion that their people are inherently stronger, wiser, more virtuous, and more deserving of power and privilege. An uncompromising, fanatical devotion that borders on religious fervor distinguishes Chauvinists who are utterly convinced of the righteousness and messianic purpose of their chosen allegiance, whether it be a political movement, a national identity, or a personal crusade. Chauvinists exhibit an unshakable certainty that their cause is destined for greatness and that they are the chosen emissaries charged with advancing its sacred mission. Chauvinism stifles the voices of those deemed lesser and propagates harmful stereotypes. Bias, hate crimes in the world doubled from 2017 to 2022 due to these chauvinistic mentalities, according to OCSE hate crime data. At its most destructive, chauvinism can fuel dangerous nationalism, religious fanaticism, xenophobia, racism, misogyny, and a dangerously one-sided us versus them mentality and other forms of harmful tribalism representing an unhealthy dogmatic distortion of logic. Chauvinists aggressively champion the interests of their country above all else, even to the point of justifying unethical, aggressive, or imperialistic actions. Their warped worldview leads chauvinists to regard outsiders and minority groups with suspicion, contempt, and a condescending sense of their own status. Driven by an irrational pride and stubborn refusal to acknowledge the equal worth of and humanity of all people, chauvinists seek to dominate, subjugate, and marginalize those who they deem inferior. This toxic mentality manifests in various ways, from overt discrimination and oppression to the forms of prejudice and exclusion. At its core, chauvinism represents a failure to recognize common bonds of shared humanity, as well as a profound unwillingness to treat all people with the dignity, empathy, and respect they deserve. Overcoming this pernicious mindset of overzealous patriotism and nationalism remains a critical challenge for building a more just, equitable, and united world. Chauvinists appeal to zealotry and extremism to defend and promote their beliefs, dismissing or demonizing dissenting views. They firmly believe in the absolute excellence and glory of their country, dismissing any criticism or acknowledgement of its flaws as unpatriotic heresy. Chauvinism is an irrational and illogical belief in the supremacy of one group that rejects nuance and objectivity. In brief, the chauvinist mindset leads to a skewed, distorted, biased worldview, where one's nation is seen as infallible and destined for dominance, while all others are viewed as inferior, threatening, unworthy, and unequal.